I got myself big time screwed here.
Big time.
Today we are going to learn about trees, forest ecology, climate change and more. All related to this landscape in which I've been surviving. Yeah, I'm changing the plan. Hey folks, Julius here. I studied forestry and nature conservation, and nowadays I mainly make survival and bushcraft videos here on the Smooth Gefixt.
Smooth Gefixt, ouwe.
Take care about nature. One of the great things about bushcraft is the direct connection with nature we experience when fulfilling our needs in the outdoors. Let me take you to the landscape of our 1 vs 1 survival finale in Ireland. Let's have a look at this, folks. This is gonna be so interesting. Let's do some interaction and I'll think for ourselves. What is not right here? Behind me. What is not right? Let's have a look.
Where are you, worms?
Yeah, that is me struggling. Yes. But hey, don't mind about me. Also look at the landscape. So, have we all noted a few things here? Cool. Okay, when I look at this landscape, I see a lot of grasslands. Yeah? But I also see a lot of farmland. Yeah, you can't miss it. Here, look. It's farmland. Monoculture spruce plantations. But we were supposed to come to the real wilderness here. To the real nature. Well, we must have been in the wrong place, eh? What we are looking at here is a completely degraded landscape. Once these lands were covered by a native forest rich in biodiversity, as was almost the whole of Ireland. But where then are those native broadleaf trees these days? Well, they are actually still there. Look, in the gorges you find them. But hey, why only in the gorges? Should I have to do something with water availability? Or something else? Well, we're getting there. Besides browsing of extensively farmed livestock, these lands are overbrowsed by deer. Any new sapling that makes it through the thick grass layer doesn't stand a chance against the herbivores. Only here a few saplings could survive, because deer don't feel too comfortable browsing in these narrow gorges with steep slopes hard to escape. In Scotland, we find the same kind of degraded landscape, where I made the Highlander survival video earlier this year.
What's up, folks? I'm here with Pandami Dosi and look at them floats!
Effective deer management has been lacking, and the large population densities of deer and other herbivores are the major cause for unfavorable conditions for natural values. But it's not just decreasing the population size of deer by hunting that's gonna make the big difference. Nature is best in taking care of herself. And to understand more of that, we take an example in the US, Yellowstone National Park. Also here, the landscape was heavily degraded due to overbrowsing of deer and elk, despite hunting efforts to lower the population. But this all changed in 1995. The wolf was reintroduced here after being killed off in the 1930s. And what do wolves do? Due to the hunting pressure of the new top predator, not actually the number of deer was much reduced, but their behavior changed. Deer stayed on the move, not taking the time anymore to intensively browse saplings. The result was that forests greatly extended and recovered naturally. The increased abundance of more healthy forest favored songbirds and many other species, such as the beaver, who thrived again. And his influence on hydrology then again led to healthier fish populations, etc.
The wolves killed coyotes, and as a result of that, the number of rabbits and mice began to rise, which meant more hawks, more weasels, more foxes, more badgers. Ravens and bald eagles came down to feed on the carrion that the wolves had left. Bears fed on it too, and their population began to rise as well, partly also because there were more berries growing on the regenerating shrubs.
This is being called a trophic cascade effect, and it shows that a top predator is so important for a healthy ecosystem. And so, just bringing back a few wolves can potentially grow millions of trees and enhance biodiversity very significantly. And let's not forget about this other important top predator, the lynx, which is perhaps less challenging to live alongside with humans, rarely killing any livestock. Reintroducing the wolf and lynx here in relatively populated Ireland might be further away, but in more remote Scotland there's more potential to start with. In the Highlands, many areas are free of livestock nowadays. Let us go back to me there, struggling in the barren landscape, and talk about the trees. There is not a single piece of dead wood here that are actually there. These are Sitka spruce plantations. This tree is not native to Ireland and planted here by men, purely for short-term interest. Fast growing, complete clear cutting, around only 45 years old. Quick money.
Nothing wrong with doing some forestry, but it can be done a lot more sustainable than this.
Their needles acidify the already acid grounds of these barren moorlands even more. The reason why I couldn't find any worms here. Under these acid conditions, a healthy soil life, which is also important for plants and much of the other life, is completely missing here. This place is just hell. Here, midges are about the only thing alive.
Damn it. I got myself big time screwed here.
80% of Ireland once used to be covered by a biodiverse broadleaf forest. Nowadays, native forest covers only 1% of the country. The rest of the forest consists mostly of non-native conifer plantations, threatening biodiversity and the environment. To meet climate change targets, in the coming years, the Irish government wants to plant thousands of extra hectares with these ecological dead zone spruce plantations. Planting trees can be great, but let's not do it this way. Rather go for a more sustainable, natural type of forest. Talking about planting trees, you might have heard about the big fundraising campaign that's going on here on YouTube, called Team Trees, where you can be part of. The goal is to plant 20 million trees by the end of this year. $1 equals 1 tree, and by now they have already reached 12 million. Now it might have seemed in this video that I stated that planting trees is not such a great idea. Well, it can be a good thing, provided that it is done with nature itself in mind, instead of for the sake of just planting an X number of trees. I just think it is important to also give this other viewpoint, that planting forest is not always the best way. For example, protecting the still standing primeval forest from further deforestation might be at least as important. Also, that you don't always have to plant trees to grow a forest. Often, all we have to do is let go of the negative impacts we're having on the land, and a forest will grow better on itself. But if done right, planting trees can definitely help. And the Arbor Day Foundation, to which the money of Team Trees goes, have a lot of experience and seem to know what they are doing. The Team Trees initiative is great. It is awesome to see so many people enthusiastic about doing something back for our Earth, and see YouTubers participate, of which you wouldn't have the first impression that they would even care just a little bit about the environment. We should all support this, so the Smooth Gefixt donated €50, and also you can join in, because this is just such a simple first step to make a little bit of a difference, or contribute to a better world in a different way. Let this be the start of so much more, because just planting a few million trees is not gonna save Earth, us, or the environment. But a fundamental societal lifestyle change might. Consuming, spending loads of money on all kinds of crap and luxury products you don't really need, especially when being an influencer, can be directly linked with resource exploitation, deforestation and climate change. So I think a better world starts by yourself. So I try to do my best supporting long-term politics, thinking about all of us on Earth. Earth first. Try and take the train, bus or hitchhike when traveling to bushcraft locations, for example, instead of taking the airplane. Not becoming a commercial YouTube channel. Going for an environmental friendly diet. No meat and dairy, for example. Trying to go for environmental friendly products that will last if you take care of them. Change can't happen from one day to the other, but all little bits help. Keep smiling. Team Earth.